I've been reborn. Back to the day after I got my marriage certificate with my mute wife. In my past life, I saw her as a jinx who couldn't speak. I beat and scolded her constantly, until she died saving me in a mine cave-in. Only then did I wake up. I held a bowl of steamed egg with minced meat, swearing to cherish her with my life this time. She timidly took it, head down. But I clearly heard her inner roar. Keep acting, keep acting. Last life, this very bowl of drugged egg made me miscarry. My hand shook. The bowl crashed to the ground. The golden egg custard mixed with meat. Lin Wan's frail body jolted violently. Like a frightened rabbit, she looked up at me in terror, eyes full of tears. Wang Bufan, just keep putting on a show. This life, I'll let your mother taste it first. I froze. She's been reborn too, and she's come back with overwhelming hatred. Her hidden hand moved quickly, tucking that small paper packet deep into her sleeve. The movement was light and concealed. If I hadn't been staring at her, I never would have noticed. In my past life, it was this bowl of egg. My stepmother Lutsuihua gave it to her, saying it was nutritious and would help her bear a son. She drank it and that night, she bled. We lost our first child. I thought it was because she was weak, a jinx who couldn't have children. I grew even more disgusted with her. Beating and scolding became routine, but I never knew that bowl had drugs. No, I never meant to harm my own child. You wasteful brat. What a sin. Can't even hold a bowl steady. What use is marrying this mute? In my past life, that slap landed hard. Lin Wan's cheek instantly swelled red, but she didn't even dare cry out loud. And I stood by coldly, thinking my stepmother was right. But now, I snapped back to reality and grabbed my stepmother's wrist. Ma, that's enough. My voice was hoarse. Lutsuihua was stunned. She looked at me in disbelief. Wang Bufan, have you lost your mind? You're yelling at me for this mute? Lin Wan also froze. Her terrified eyes showed a hint of confusion. I clearly heard her thoughts. What's going on? Shouldn't he be helping his mother scold me? Fine. This must be a new way to torment me. I get it. First, give me a candy, then slap me. Want to see me beg like a dog? Wang Bufan, you're dreaming. My heart ached so much I couldn't breathe. So in his eyes, even my breathing was wrong. I let go of my stepmother and crouched down to pick up the broken porcelain pieces. It's not her fault. I just slipped. A sharp shard cut my finger. Blood instantly welled up. Lin Wan's heart trembled again, bleeding. A sympathy trick to make me let my guard down. He's really going all out. I held the shard. Blood dripped through my fingers, but I felt no pain. What hurts more than the resentment of the one you love? Lin Wan, I'm sorry. She didn't respond, just timidly shrank back, lowering her eyes, like a lifeless puppet. But her heart was in turmoil. Sorry, Wang Bufan? Your sorry is worthless. Last life, I died in that mine. Where were you when my body was crushed? Saying sorry now is too late. I threw the shards into the dustpan, stood up and positioned myself between her and my stepmother. Ma, I'll handle all the housework from now on. Don't bot her around anymore. I'll cook, I'll wash the clothes, I'll fetch the water. She's my wife, not some livestock we bought. You're completely bewitched, turning against your own mother for a barren mute. I didn't argue further. I took Lin Wan's wrist and led her back to our dim little room. Her wrist was cold, so thin it felt like it could snap. The moment I touched it, she flinched as if shocked. I held tight. Let me go. Don't touch me with your dirty hands. Her inner voice was sharp as a knife. Silently, I dragged out a worn wooden box from under the bed, opened it. Inside was all I owned, 136.50 yuan. I took out all the money and pressed it into her hand. Lin Wan, I was a bastard before. Take this money. Buy whatever you want. From now on, every cent I earn goes to you. She stared blankly at the money in her hand, as if unable to comprehend my actions. Seconds later, her inner sneer rang out again. Giving me money? Last life, you gambled it all away and came back to beat me when you lost. This life, you want to buy me off? Make me devoted to you? Fine, Wang Bufan. I'll take it. I'll wait for you to hit rock bottom and beg me on your knees. She took the money, carefully tucked it into her inner pocket. Then she walked to the table, picked up a pen and paper, wrote a line, and handed it to me. The handwriting was delicate, but carried a distant coldness. I watched her thin figure disappear through the door. My heart was a mix of emotions. I knew our war had just begun. The next day, I got up before dawn. I scooped rice and cooked a pot of plain congee and stir-fried some cabbage with vinegar. By the time I set breakfast on the table, my mom and Lin Wan were just getting up. Well, look at that. The sun rose from the west. You can cook now. I ignored her. I filled a bowl of congee and placed it before Lin Wan. Eat up, it's still hot. Lin Wan kept her head down, not moving. Poison in the kanji? Or in the dish? I won't eat. Let's see how long you can keep this act up. I sighed, picked up her bowl, and took a big sip in front of her. No poison. Eat without worry. Lin Wan's body trembled slightly. Finally, she looked up, her eyes full of SOC and doubt. My stepmother couldn't stand it. She slammed the table. Wang Bufan! Have you no manners? Is that food for a mute? Send him to wash the pots and dishes, and wash all the family's clothes, then go weed the fields this afternoon. Ma, I told you I'll do these chores from now on. She's my wife, not a hired hand. You're rebelling. If I say she does it, she does it. With that, my stepmother grabbed a broom and swung it at Lin Wan. Let this jinx drive a wedge between mother and son. Lin Wan shut her eyes in fear, but the expected pain never came. I had stepped in front of her. The broom hit my back hard, a searing pain. Wang Bufan, get out of my way. If you want to hit someone, hit me. Leave her alone. Lin Wan slowly opened her eyes behind me. I heard her chaotic thoughts. He's protecting me? Why? What new trick is this? No, he must have a bigger scheme. I can't soften. Absolutely not, seeing I was determined to protect my wife. My stepmother threw down the broom in anger and sat on the ground, throwing a tantrum. I can't go on living. I raised the son with all my heart, and now he forgets his mother for a wife. I'll die right here today. See what you do then. Neighbors gathered to watch the commotion. In my past life, I feared embarrassment the most, and I feared my stepmother's crying even more. So every time she beat and scolded Lin Wan, I chose to stay silent or even join in. But now, Reborn, I only felt utter disgust. I turned to look at the terrified Lin Wan, softening my voice. Don't be scared. Go back to our room. Lin Wan gave me a complex look and silently went back to the room. Once she was inside, I turned around and coldly stared at Lu Tsuehua, still rolling on the ground. Ma! If you think I'm an unfilial son, then pretend you never raised me. From today on, Lin Wan is under my protection. With that, I ignored her wailing and went to the yard to fetch water. Behind me were my stepmother's curses and the neighbors' gossip. I turned a deaf ear. I knew that facing Lin Wan, who was also reborn, my path to atonement had just begun. I had to shatter the ice in her heart with actions, bit by bit. In the following days, I took on all the dirty and heavy chores at home. I'd fill 2 big water tanks before dawn, then make breakfast. During the day, I'd work with the village construction crew, earning some odd job money. At night, I'd wash the family's clothes and sweep the yard. I gave every cent I earned to Lin Wan without keeping a single penny. I made sure she got the meat and white flour buns, while I chewed on dry cornbread with pickled vegetables. My mom looked at me like I was her enemy. She found every way to torment Lin Wan. One moment she'd say she was dizzy and make Lin Wan massage her legs. The next, she'd claim the clothes weren't clean and send Lin Wan to wash them by the river under the scorching sun. But every time, I stopped her. Ma, she's not well. I'll do it. I'd snatch the washing mallet from Lin Wan's hand and pound the clothes on the washboard with all my might. My mom would mutter insults under her breath. Truly, a son forgets his mother for a wife. I raised you for nothing. What spell has that mute cast on you? Lin Wan would stand nearby, watching silently. Her thoughts, from the initial acting, hypocrisy, and ulterior motives, were slowly changing. What does he really want? Isn't he tired? His back injury isn't healed yet, is it? Though still full of vigilance and doubt, at least it was no longer pure hatred. That was a good sign. One day, I came back from town and bought her a new Dacron floral shirt. In her past life, she loved that shirt. She'd stare at it in the supply store window for a long time every time she passed, but I never bought it for her. I handed her the shirt. For you. She took it, stunned. Her fingers caressing the smooth fabric. Her eyes were a bit dazed. Zhao Shui had the exact same shirt in the past life. Zhao Shui was the village chief's daughter. She always had a crush on me in my past life, to get her dad to give me easy work. I often praised her in front of Lin Wan. My heart sank. Sure enough, her next thought turned icy. So it's for Zhao Shui? Wrong delivery? Or in his eyes, I'm only fit for hand-me-downs? Wang Bufan, you're truly disgusting. She threw the shirt back at me and went back to her room, slamming the door shut. I messed up. I forgot Xiao Shui had bought the same shirt and had shown it off just yesterday. That evening, I made her favorite braised pork. I put all the meat in her bowl. But she didn't touch her chopsticks. Fake kindness. A bowl of braised pork. A cheap shirt. And you think I'll forget the pain of the past life? Wang Bufan, don't you dare dream. I ate my plain rice in silence. My heart felt heavy. I knew making amends was harder than I imagined. The iceberg in her heart wouldn't melt in a day or two. Just then, that so-called good friend of mine, Shang Sharan, swaggered in. Brother Fen, you're home. My pupils contracted sharply. In my past life, he tricked me into working at a small coal mine, promising big money. Then the mine collapsed. Lin Wan died saving me, while he pocketed my compensation and married Zhao Shui soon after. Is he reborn too? No, look at his clueless face. Doesn't seem like it. Shang Sharan didn't notice my change. He plopped down, picked up the chopsticks and grabbed the biggest piece of braised pork. Whoa, Brother Fen, you're rich. Eating meat. Perfect timing. I've got a way to make a fortune. A big bot from the south is here, wanting to buy a batch of mountain goods. Prices are 30% higher than market. Let's pool together and buy up the village's goods. Flip them and make at least this much. He held up 5 fingers. I sneered inwardly. In my past life, he used the exact same line. I believed him. Put all our savings into it, even borrowed from loan sharks. Turns out the big bot was a con artist, leaving me deep in debt. My life hit rock bottom, and Shang Sharan washed his hands clean. I looked at him and slowly said, sure, I knew you'd be game, Brother Fen. Just then, I heard Lin Wan's thoughts. What a fool. Can't even see such an obvious scam. No wonder he was poor in the past life. Wait, if he loses all the money, will he sell me off? That ending doesn't sound so bad. A faint smile curled at the corner of my mouth. Shang Sharan, this life, we have a score to settle. The next day, Shang Sharan came knocking impatiently. Brother Fen, how's the money coming? The money's all with my wife. Brother Fen, you're joking, right? Letting a mute handle the money? I said nothing, just stared at him. Shang Sharan, embarrassed, had no choice but to follow me inside. Lin Wan was sitting at the table, mending clothes. When she saw us come in, her eyes turned wary. Lin Wan, give me the money. One sentence and you want the money? Wang Bufan, are you really that stupid, or just faking it? Shang Sharan introduced me to a business deal. It'll make us a lot of money. Give me the money. When I earn it, I'll buy you a gold bracelet. This time, she just looked at me coldly, then lowered her head and continued sewing, completely ignoring me. In my past life, I'd said the same thing. She believed me, and gave me the little savings she'd hidden away. But that money was all lost. Hey, sister-in-law, what are you doing? Would Brother Fen lie to you? This is a golden opportunity. Miss it, and you two will be eating wind for life. Lin Wan still ignored him. Shang Sharan gave me a look, meaning, you're a man. Can't you control a woman? I sneered inwardly. To lure Shang Sharan into the trap, I snatched the sewing basket from Lin Wan's hands and threw it to the ground hard. You mute. I'm giving you face, and you dare refuse? I'm asking you for money, and you won't give it? Believe me, I'll beat you to death. I put on a fierce face. Just lie my past self. Lin Wan's body shook violently. Her face turned pale, fear almost overflowing from her eyes. Here it is. He couldn't keep up the act. I knew he couldn't really change. Hit me, yell at me. I'm used to it anyway. As long as I don't give the money. Let's see what else he can do. Shang Sharan watched, both shocked and thrilled, but more than that, excited. He loved seeing me act like a jerk. The worse I was, the easier I was to control. I stepped closer to Lin Wan, raising my hand. She closed her eyes, resigned to the slap. But my hand stopped mid-air. I turned and slapped myself hard across the face. The sharp sound stunned both Lin Wan and Shang Sharan. I covered my face, my voice choked with tears. Lin Wan, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have yelled at you, let alone thought of hitting you. I'm such a jerk. But I really want to give you a good life. This business deal, just trust me this once. The last time, oh coup? Even I almost believed my own act. Lin Wan slowly opened her eyes. The fear in them turned into utter confusion. What is he doing? Hitting himself? Is he crazy? Brother Fen, what are you? I ignored him. Just looked at Lin Wan with red, pleading eyes. I knew simple scolding wouldn't work on her anymore. Only this extreme contrast could crack her frozen heart. Sure enough, her thoughts began to waver. He seems serious. What if this time it's real? If he really can make money? I pressed on. Pulled a piece of paper from my pocket. An IOU I'd written last night. Lin Wan, this is an IOU. I, Wang Bufan, borrow 136.50 yuan from my wife, Lin Wan, for business. Promise to repay 200 yuan with interest within a month. If I can't, I'll leave the house with nothing. I shoved the IOU into her cold hand. Shang Shuren was completely dumbfounded. He'd never seen anything like this. An IOU? Leaving with nothing? He's going this far? Does he really want to make money? Or is this a trick to get the money and run? But if he runs, he can't take the house or land. He wrestled with it for a long time. Finally, he stood up and pulled out the cloth bundle from his inner pocket, unwrapped it layer by layer, revealing the neatly stacked bills. She counted out 130 yuan. Can't give him all of it. What if he runs? At least I'll have bought fare to go back to my parents. I took the money, my heart a whirlwind of emotions. She still didn't trust me. But I knew this was the best outcome I could hope for. Thank you, Lin Wan. She didn't look at me, just silently picked up the sewing basket from the floor. Brother Fen, you're something else. Even being that hard on yourself, I smiled. Shang Shuren, just wait. This life, I'll make you pay back everything. Every last bit you owe me. I didn't follow Shang Shuren to collect mountain goods. Instead, I took that 130 yuan and headed straight to the county scrapyard. In my past life, after going bankrupt to pay off debts, I did all kinds of work, including sorting at the scrapyard. I clearly remembered that in a few days, the yard would receive a batch of scrapped machines from out of town. To others, those machines were just scrap metal. But to me, they were treasure. Because inside one of them was a forgotten industrial-grade high-purity silicon wafer. In the 1980s, that stuff was priceless and hard to find. I spent 2 days digging through the scrap pile, finally found that unremarkable old machine in the corner. I bought the whole pile of scrap for 100 yuan. The scrapyard owner looked at me. I was an idiot. I hired a cart and hauled the machine to a blacksmith shop in town. Master, please help me take this apart. Kid, this thing isn't worth much even dismantled. Are you sure you haven't been scammed? Just take it apart. I'll pay you for the work. I handed him a pack of cigarettes. The old blacksmith didn't argue further. He swung his sledgehammer and got to work. After half a day, he finally cracked open the machine's shell, revealing something tightly wrapped in oilcloth. My heart raced. I carefully unwrapped the oilcloth. A shiny metal plate appeared before me. This is it. I suppressed my excitement, paid the blacksmith, tucked the plate into my coat, and headed straight for the city's electronic components factory. Young man, where did you get this? Handed down from my ancestors. After some appraisal and bargaining, the factory bought the plate for 5,000 yuan. 5,000 yuan. In an era where the average monthly wage was just a few dozen yuan. That was a fortune. I clutched that thick stack of bills. My hands were shaking. Being reborn. For the first time, I felt like I had my fate firmly in my hands. I didn't go straight home. First, I went to the department store and bought Lin Wan a beautiful red dress, a pair of white new leather shoes, also some white rabbit candy, malted milk, and a fat roast chicken. In my past life, I owed her so much. This life, I want to give her the best of everything. I want to make up for all the pain. I want to see her smile. I want to be the man she deserves. When I returned to the village carrying large bags and packages, the whole village was in an uproar. Wang Bufan has come into money. Didn't he go with Shang Shuren to collect mountain goods? He's already making money that fast? I ignored the crowd's chatter and went straight home. You jinx. If you hadn't held onto the money and refused to hand it over, Wang Bufan could have bought more goods and made more money. Now look, not only did you not make money, you lost all the capital. Are you happy now? Lin Wan's thin shoulders trembled slightly. Rage surged in my heart. Mom, what are you yelling about here? Brother Fen, you're back. We've been scammed. That big bot from the south is a con artist. He took our goods and ran off. All my money, and the 130 yuan worth of goods I helped you collect, all gone. He put on a mournful face, acting like he was the biggest victim. I stared at him coldly. Is that so? There are people like that in this world? I set down the things in my hands, then pulled out that thick stack of cash from my pocket and waved it in front of him. Good thing I didn't go with you. Hey, Brother Fen, where did you get all this money? Lu Tsuewa's scolding came to an abrupt halt. She stared at the money in my hand. Her breathing became rapid. Lin Wan also lifted her head, her eyes full of disbelief. He really made money? That much? He didn't lie to me. I ignored them, walked straight up to Lin Wan, and shoved all that money into her hands. Lin Wan, I told you, I would give you a good life. This is 4,000 yuan. Keep it safe. Then I picked up that red dress, held it up in front of her. Lie it? Lin Wan stared at me blankly, then looked at the money in her hands, then looked at the beautiful dress. She was completely stunned. Her inner voice went blank for the first time. 4,000 yuan? Where did he get so much money? Stolen? Robbed? What does he mean by giving me all the money? Is he asking me to keep the stolen goods for him and take it back when the heat dies down? Or is this the money from selling me? Her mind instantly conjured up a whole drama. I found it both funny and frustrating. Rebuilding trust between husband and wife is a long road, and 4,000 yuan. Oh my, son, give it to me. I'll keep it for you. Mom! This money is Lin Wan's. Don't touch it. I shoved my stepmother aside. What? His? Mine? Your money is my money. I'm your mother. Lu Tsuehua stomped her foot in anger, but she didn't dare actually fight me. From the moment I gave the money to her, it's hers. Brother Fen, you're really not being fair. Shang Sharen's face turned extremely ugly. You got rich and forgot your brother. You need to pay me back for that 130 yuan worth of goods. I turned my head and gave him a cold look. You wanted me to lose everything. Consider that 130 yuan a lesson learned. From now on, we go our separate ways. Wang Bufan, don't be ungrateful. Fine, you're asking for it. We'll see about that. He spat out a threat and slunk away. I knew he wouldn't let it go. But I wasn't afraid. In this life, I won't give him any chance to harm me again. I took Lin Wan inside to the dining table. Eat up, it's still hot. She looked at the table full of good food, then looked at me. Her expression was incredibly complex. She silently picked up a chicken leg but didn't eat it herself. Instead, she brought it to my lips. I was stunned. This was the first time she had ever been kind to me on her own. Even though her inner voice was still, feed him first, so he won't have the energy to bother me tonight. Eat up, eat up. Hope you choke. My heart was a mix of emotions. I took a bite of the chicken leg. That night, after she finished her bath, I handed her the red dress. Put it on, try it. She hesitated for a moment, then took it. She fidgeted with the hem of her clothes, looking uncomfortable. Her head down, not daring to look at me. The red dress made her skin look snow white. So beautiful. In my past life, how could I have been so blind to treat her like that? This dress is really pretty. But I'm wearing it for him to see. Will he? Her inner voice carried a girl's shyness and deep fear. I suppressed the pounding in my heart, deliberately kept my distance. It fits well. Get some sleep early. Tomorrow, I'll take you into town for a walk. I'll sleep on the floor. He's not sleeping with me? Has he changed? Or is he disgusted? No, he must be plotting something bad. I still need to be careful. I didn't explain. I knew she was afraid of me. In my past life, every time I got drunk, I would abuse her. Those scars were carved into her body and into her heart. I won't touch her again, unless she's willing. At night, I heard her tossing and turning. I knew she wasn't asleep. Her heart must be struggling too. And I was also sleepless. How to reveal the truth about that bowl of abortion medicine stewed with eggs from the past life? That was the deepest thorn between us. If I don't pull it out, we can never start over. I decided to start with my stepmother, Lu Tsuehua. Aunt Tang from the east end of the village, her daughter-in-law had 3 daughters in a row, and was worried about not having a son. Aunt Tang came over to visit, and poured out her troubles to my mom. Sister-in-law, why is my fate so bitter? That eldest daughter-in-law's belly is just useless. It's driving me crazy. My stepmother perked up immediately, and started sharing her wisdom. Sister-in-law, you need to find a way. Let me tell you, I have a folk remedy that works like magic. I walked over with a teapot, pretending to interrupt casually. Mom, what kind of remedy? I've heard some folk remedies can be harmful. You can't just use them carelessly. What do you know? This is a gender-switching medicine. Back when Lin Wan was pregnant, I went to the town's fortune teller, old lady Zhang, and begged for it. She said, as long as you take this medicine, you're guaranteed to have a son. Sitting quietly nearby, Lin Wan's body stiffened suddenly as she was sewing the sole of a shoe. The needle in her hand stabbed deep into her finger. Blood beaded up, but she didn't even notice. Gender-switching medicine? What gender-switching medicine? Is he talking about that bowl of stewed eggs from the past life? Lin Wan took that medicine, so why didn't the bee survive? Don't even mention it. It's all that senile old fortune teller's fault. She only told me later that she had mixed up the prescription. What she gave me wasn't a gender-switching medicine. It was an abortion formula. Isn't that infuriating? Wasted one of my old hens and the eggs I stewed. That mute girl just didn't have the luck. Couldn't even hold on to a pregnancy. The shoe sole in her hand fell to the ground. She was completely dumbfounded. I could almost hear something shattering in Lin Wan's heart. Her eyes were wide open, bloodshot, staring fixedly at Lu Tsuehua, as if she were a mortal enemy. It was her. Lu Tsuehua, not Wang Bufan. That bowl of medicine was put there by his mother. It was a mistake. An accident. How could this be? I hated the wrong person. Her heart was filled with pain and confusion. That overwhelming hatred that had supported her rebirth and desire for revenge now showed a crack. Aunt Tang was stunned speechless. After a long while, she said, "Sister-in-law, aren't you being reckless? This could kill someone. Can you blame me? Blame that fortune teller. Besides, it was just a girl. Letting her go is no big deal." "No big deal." "Say that again. Who told you to go get that folk remedy?" "I did it for your own good. For the Wang family to have an heir. For my own good? You went and harmed my child. For my own good? You nearly killed my wife. That was my grandchild too. I'm more heartbroken than you. You're not worthy to mention her." My eyes were bloodshot. If looks could kill, my stepmother Lutsuihua would have died 1,000 times over. She was scared by me and kept backing away. What are you trying to do? I'm your mother." I didn't bother with her anymore. Turned and walked to Lin Wan, crouching down. Gently picked up her pricked index finger and put it in my mouth. The taste of blood spread in my mouth. Her body trembled like a leaf in the wind. I lifted my head, looked into her eyes, full of SOC and pain. "Lin Wan, I'm sorry. I was also at fault in this. I didn't protect you and our child." My voice was very soft but carried an undeniable strength. She looked at me, and finally the tears broke through. Large drops fell, hot on the ground. She had no inner voice. At that moment, her mind was a complete blank. Only endless sorrow. After the truth came out, Lin Wan changed. She no longer guarded against me like before. Although she still couldn't speak, the look in her eyes when she saw me was no longer cold and hateful. It held more complexity, and even a hint of confusion I couldn't understand. She began to silently do things for me. When I came back from work, there would be a cup of warm water on the table. When I coughed in the middle of the night, the next day, there would be an extra bowl of rock sugar pear at my bedside. When my clothes were torn, she would mend them overnight. She always did these things silently, as if afraid I would notice, but I could hear her inner voice. "He chopped wood today, his hands are blistered. He needs to soak them in warm water. The weather is getting cold. I should find his thick coat. He really seems different from his past life. But can I really trust him again?" Ever since I exposed the truth that day, my stepmother hasn't given me a good look, and my relationship with her hit rock bottom. I used the money I earned to build a small house next to the yard. I'll move out with Lin Wan, completely away from this woman who has made our home a living hell. Life seemed to be heading in a good direction, but I forgot there was still a venomous snake lurking in the shadows, waiting for its chance. Shang Shoren, after being publicly humiliated by me last time, disappeared for a while. I thought he had given up, but I didn't expect him to come back with an even more vicious method. That day, I was working on a construction site. Shang Shoren suddenly found me. As he spoke, he even handed me a bottle of good liquor. I looked at him without showing any emotion. "Brother Fen, last time was wrong. I was blinded by greed and wanted to cheat you out of your money. You're a big man with a big heart. Don't hold it against me. Just say what you want." "Ah, Brother Fen, it's like this. I pulled some strings and got you a job at the county cement factory. A permanent position, an iron rice bowl, much better than hauling sandbags here." Cement factory. In my past life, I did work at a cement factory, and not long after, there was an explosion accident at the factory. I escaped it because I took that day off, but thinking back now, that explosion was full of suspicious circumstances. Could it be related to Shang Shoren too? If it's such a good opportunity, why don't you take it yourself? "Oh, I just wanted to make it up to you, Brother Fen. I still have some things to take care of. You just go and report for duty. I've already arranged everything." He slapped a letter of introduction into my hand. I looked at his fake smiling face and already had the answer in my heart. This is a trap. He wants me dead. I took the letter of introduction. "Then when I get my wages, I'll treat you to a drink." Sure. "You get busy, Brother Fen. I'll wait for your good news." He thought I had taken the bait and walked away smugly. I clutched that letter of introduction. "Shang Shoren, this time, I won't just ruin your reputation. I'll make you pay back the life you owe Lin Wan from the past life." When I got home, I told Lin Wan about going to the cement factory. Hearing my words, the needle in her hand stopped. Cement factory? Wang Bufan really doesn't learn from his mistakes. Got burned once, and still listens to that Shang Shoren. Her inner voice carried a strong sense of worry for the first time. "Lin Wan, I might have to stay in the county for a while this time. Keep the money at home safe. Remember, no matter what happens, don't leave the house. Wait for me to come back." I was afraid she would, lie in the past life, come looking for me recklessly. I left her a letter. In the letter, I wrote down my suspicions about Shang Shoren. I took the letter of introduction and successfully completed the onboarding process. The person in charge of receiving me was a squad leader named Lee. His face was full of pockmarks, but the way he looked at people was shrewd and unfriendly. "New guy, start here. Work hard, and you'll have a future. I nodded and said nothing. I knew he was in cahoots with Shang Sharan. In the past life, it was he who, the day before the explosion, transferred me to the pot at the epicenter of the blast. The workshop was filled with dust. The workers were all covered in grime. The work was hard, but I gritted my teeth and endured. I was waiting for Shang Sharan to show his true colors. I discreetly observed the layout of the workshop and quickly found the problem. Several key dust removal devices seemed to have been tampered with. Their operating efficiency was extremely low. After work, I didn't go back to the dormitory. Instead, I sneaked into Squad Leader Lee's office. I remembered that in the past life, Squad Leader Lee had a habit of keeping a work diary. In the drawer of his old, broken desk, I found a notebook with a lock. I easily picked the lock with a piece of wire. Opened the diary. The contents were shocking. That Shang Sharan kid is really generous. A small gold bar, just to make Wang Bufan disappear? Simple. Equipment aging. Dust levels exceeding the limit. No one will know. The date is set for the day before payday. By then, I'll be back in my hometown. No one will find me. I used a miniature camera to photograph all the diary entries. I found an old worker at the factory, Uncle Joe. He had always fought for the workers' rights. He was an upright man. I showed him the photos I took and told him my plan. Those two beasts. Don't you worry, I'll risk my old life for this, and send them both to prison. With Uncle Joe's help, my plan became even more thorough. That day finally arrived. The sky was overcast, looking like it was about to rain. I went to work in the workshop as usual. Xiao Wang, work hard today. I'll treat you to a drink tonight. Thanks, squad leader. I lowered my head, hiding the coldness in my eyes. There was 1 hour left until the end of the shift. Squad leader Lee made an excuse to go out on business. I knew he was going to activate the final device. The other workers were still buried in their work, completely unaware of the approaching danger. I quietly moved to a safety exit I had scouted earlier. Just then, I caught a familiar figure out of the corner of my eye. It was Lin Wan. What was she doing here? Didn't I tell her to wait for me at home? In that instant, my heart nearly stopped beating. He's been in there a long time. Why isn't he coming out? The letter said there would be danger today. I can't let him face it alone. Wang Bufan, you have to be Oku. Lin Wan, run. Danger. Almost simultaneously, a loud bang came from deep inside the workshop. A huge beam was falling straight towards Lin Wan. I threw myself at her with all my strength. Lin Wan. I shielded Lin Wan tightly beneath me. The burning beam crashed onto my back. A searing pain shot through me. I nearly passed out. But I didn't dare let go. I was afraid that if I let go, I would lose her forever. Wang Bufan. I used my last ounce of strength to push myself up and drag her out from under me. Go! Quickly, Lin Wan looked at me. Her tears flowed even harder. She shook her head desperately, grabbing my hand, trying to pull me out. A second explosion hit again. More debris and sparks rained down from above. Lin Wan. Be good. Go by yourself. Lie well. But she held onto me tightly, refusing to let go. She looked at me, her mouth wide open. A hoarse, guttural sound came from her throat. She was trying. She was struggling. She wanted to speak. Her face was flushed red. Finally, in a heart-wrenching scream. No, a garbled syllable burst from her throat. Her voice was harsh, like sandpaper scraping, but it was the most beautiful sound I had ever heard. She could speak. Just then, with strength I don't know where she found, she shoved me forward violently. I stumbled and rolled several meters away, and where she had been standing, a huge concrete slab crashed down. When I woke up, I was already in the hospital. My whole body ached, especially my back. It felt like it had been burned. Uncle Joe was by my hospital bed. He let out a long sigh of relief when he saw me awake. You finally woke up, kid. Where's Lin Wan? Where is she? How is she? Don't move. Your wife is fine, just a little shaken up, and some minor scrapes. She's in the next room. What about Shang Sharan and Squad Leader Lee? Mentioning those two, a look of satisfaction appeared on Uncle Joe's face. They've both been arrested. Your wife gave the letter you left to the management, plus the photos you took. Those two will be spending the rest of their lives in prison. I let out a complete sigh of relief. The villains finally got their just punishment. You're one lucky kid. That injury on your back was serious. The doctor said if it had been an inch to the side, you'd be in a wheelchair for the rest of your life. I knew it was Lin Wan who saved me. It was she who, at the most critical moment, used all her strength to push me away. Uncle Joe, thank you. Thank me for what? Thank your good wife. While you were unconscious, she stayed by your side, crying like a fountain. My heart felt like it had been hit hard by something. I want to see her. Right now. Immediately. Hey, take it easy. I leaned against the wall and slowly moved to the next room. The door wasn't closed. I saw her. She was sitting by the bed, her head down, her shoulders shaking. That silent sorrow felt like the whole world was raining for her. She suddenly looked up and saw me. She froze, tears still clinging to her long eyelashes. We looked at each other, neither of us speaking. The air seemed to freeze, leaving only the sound of our heartbeats. After a long time, she got off the bed, walked step by step to me. She reached out a hand, wanting to touch me, but afraid of hurting me. Her hand trembled slightly in the air. I'm Oku, Wang Bufan. In the past life, I was wrong about you. In this life, can we lie well together? My tears. We could no longer hold them back. They streamed down. I had waited 2 lifetimes to hear those words. 1 lifetime, 2 lifetimes,